What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 189. And this one we're sub-calling the Stat Correction Fairy because she came and visited all 8 matchups this week. It is a wild, wild finish to this week. This is week 8's review, and with me today from Denver, Colorado is Jason Ashby. Jason, you had to deal with the Stat Correction Fairy this morning. How you feeling, my friend?
Yeah, she was a pain this morning. Doing all it's the Guardians and the Twins game that was suspended from earlier this week. All those stats were put in today as stat corrections. Luckily, it didn't seem like it really affected a whole lot at the end of the day, for any of the matchups, but going through it was a bear.
I'm sure it was a pain in the ass, and we appreciate everything that you do here, my friend. Let's dive into this thing, and it is Biggs HQ squaring off against each other this week,
Yes.
first and second. You know, when the week started, Benji said, "Let's just play for first place," and I'm like, "That's fair enough. We don't have to actively go against each other. We're just trying to become the number one team, and neither one of us could do it." So more on that in a minute. On Sunday, I flipped ERA. It was 13-8 going in, 12-9 coming out. So close categories this week. Benji wins by 4 doubles, a triple, 3 errors, 2 losses, and a home run by a pitcher. I win by 2 RBIs, a steal, 2 strikeouts, and 4 ticks on the ERA. Thank you very much, Jason Adam, for the clean inning on Sunday so I didn't have to throw Ryan Stanek. We did not tie in anything. For Ben on his bench this week, he went 18 for 83. That's a 217 batting average with 14 runs that would have won him the category. 4 doubles, a homer, 7 RBIs that would have won the category, a steal that would have tied the category, 4 walks, 18 strikeouts, and 2 errors. He stopped playing his offense
Yeah.
on Friday. Realistically, he was picking and choosing his spots to bring guys in over the weekend, and on Sunday just flat out benched his entire squad. So he was picking and choosing because his batting average was really high. He knew that I was going to try to put some more stuff up, but at the end of the day, he didn't have any strikeouts. He didn't have any errors. He already hit the triple, and 12 doubles in 4 days is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But and even on the pitching side, I know he benched all of his pitching on Sunday also.
Mm.
Would have given him 5 strikeouts. But it was a lot to ask for that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the end of the day, he threw to a 293 ERA, which nearly had that category as well, but he pitched amazingly. And could afford to go to the bullpen more often than I could because I'm in the midst of a mess in my bullpen. So we'll see what happens down the road. For his moves this week, he used 8 of them. Added Caleb Ferguson for a clean relief appearance, Joel Payant for a bad relief appearance, Scott Barlow for a clean relief appearance, and Leody Taveras for an 0 for 4. He added Daysbel Hernandez for a clean relief appearance, Brandon Marsh 0 for 3, Sean Armstrong benched in a relief win, and Jorge Lopez after he had gotten a save, and Kyle Finnegan is day to day. So
Yep.
that may be the new guy in Washington.
Yep.
His MVP this week, yeah, of course it's Carlos Santana. Who the hell else would it be this week? 444 with a 583 on base, 5 runs, a double, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 3 walks, only 2 strikeouts. What a mess,
Yeah.
this guy.
A bunch of that came on Monday,
Mm-hmm.
which after today, because of the suspended game. But ultimately, yeah, it was a great week for him.
Yeah. On the season, he's only hitting 235 with 6 homers and 26 runs, 27 RBIs. He's a little bit disappointing, but I'm not sure what you expected out of Carlos Santana. You know, maybe 20 homers, maybe.
Maybe at 15, I think would be my max for him.
Okay. The least valuable hitter goes to Brandon Nimmo, who did not record a hit and struck out 3 times, and he's hurting with neck stiffness right now.
He's in today's lineup, so hopefully he's good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, not recording a hit is pretty bad. And it was interesting doing tallying Ben's hitters here, because again, like you mentioned, by Friday the majority of his hitters were right in the bench. So like you look at like Bryce Harper, he didn't walk or strike out at all for Ben, but he did. But it looks like he didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you bench out enough players to where you only get 14 strikeouts, the entire team's going to look really, or 16 strikeouts rather.
Yeah.
It's gonna look a little weird when you see a bunch of guys not striking out.
Yeah.
His Cy Young this week goes to Ranger Suarez, 6 2/3, a win, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, nothing earned, and a 1.35. Did that start come against Colorado? Is that what that was?
Yeah, it was the Colorado start. Yep.
Yeah. He's been really good for them, and Colorado's been really bad. I'm in fact streaming Jamison Tyone against them this afternoon.
Yeah, and that's at Wrigley, so that makes sense.
Yep. Graham Asshat is the least valuable hitter, 2 1/3, 2 strikeouts, a 7.71, and a 1.71 over 2 relief appearances. He had a bad week.
Yeah, but both of you pitched your asses off. So like, but I know I'll be remiss if I don't call out. Was it Friday? Was it Friday or Saturday? Um, I guess it was Saturday when he benched Emilio Pagan. He was
Mm-hmm.
I know he was very proud about that. Uh, Yeah, here it is. When he benched the home run from Emilio Pagan in on Saturday. And
Mm-hmm.
I know he was very happy with that move, because at that point he didn't need the save, he didn't need the relief appearance, and the home run would have cost the category.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's great and terrible about playing against Ben. He makes these unbelievably savvy moves that can cost you a category. I was hoping one of his dudes late would give it up this week, but sadly they did not. That was on the bench for him. Really nice week. Really
Yep.
nice week. For me on the bench this week, I went 10 for 35. That's a 286 batting average. 4 runs, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, a steal, 7 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 errors, and none of it plays.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. 10 ads this week, and there's a whole lot of pitching. It was Gavin Williams for a good start in Minnesota, Jamison Tyone for a good start and a win against Miami, Noah Cameron for a good start and a no decision in Minnesota, John Schreiber for a clean relief appearance, Landon Raup for a good start and a win against Washington, Luis L. Ortiz for a decent start against Detroit, Jose Soriano for a bad start and a loss against Miami, Ryan Stanek, who never came into for me but was into the game I think twice in the time I picked him up, Quinn Priester for a good no decision against Pittsburgh, and Jose Buto as the insurance relief appearance that I might have needed to get ERA, but I didn't, and he didn't come into the game, so fuck him.
It all worked out.
It all worked out. My MVP this week is Isaac Paredes, 367 with a 406 on base percentage, 7 runs, a double, 4 homers, 7 RBIs, a walk, 4 strikeouts. 2 errors is ugly. It cost me the category, but the 4 homers alone almost trumped Ben's 5. So thank you very much, Isaac.
Yeah, he had a nice week.
Spencer Torkelson did not have the best week for me. A 143 with a 250, 2 runs, a double, a homer, an RBI, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Tommy Edman hit 118. Max Muncy didn't get me a hit. Haesung Kim didn't even do anything because he wasn't starting.
Yeah, the Dodgers, all of a sudden are, they're cramped now that Teoscar's back, Edman's back. They say that Kim's going to get 3 to 4 starts a week, but that hasn't happened.
Nope. No, it hasn't happened, and I'm a little disappointed that it hasn't happened. He's missed 5 straight games. I'm hoping that he starts tonight in Cleveland on the short day so that I can get as many guys into the lineup as I can. But he might be the next one to go. I need some pieces in my bullpen, and he might be one of them.
I mean, if they're gonna keep giving chances to Conforto, that's gonna just keep making things, really crowded. So
Yeah. I think their best lineup is Andy Paz in left, Edmund in center, Teoscar in right, Haisong Kim at second, and Betts at short. And fill in with Freddie and Muncie.
yeah, I mean, defensively, that's a great lineup, and it works offensively too. I mean, Pi has had a rough week, but he's shown that he can hit. Yeah, and he can play the field.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll see what Dave Roberts does here in the next couple of weeks because I can't sit with a dude on my bench that only comes in as a pinch runner. Can't do it. Just
No,
can't do
it
it.
doesn't work.
As for Benjamin, he had himself a great week this week. I expect him to be in the playoff hunt. He's now 24 games over 500 and in second place.
Yeah, I think you both are going to be there all year long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're both second and third. You're right next to each other. You're right in that clump of guys, in the top five that are going to be there all year long.
Yeah. I think this will be a great season for us. We'll see how the summer goes because, of course, we need to get through that before we can start talking about the playoffs picture becoming a reality.
Sure.
Let's,
There's still a lot of weeks to go.
oh, yeah, plenty of baseball to go. All right, let's move on to the next matchup. It is Frank Bucco taking a dump trucking from Josh Haber, and Josh took down a 15-4 victory. On Sunday, Frank took the loss to tie the category, so it was 16-4 going in, 15-4 coming out. It's a shame.
Yep.
So for close categories this week, Frank wins by a triple, 3 walks by a hitter, and 4 strikeouts by a pitcher. Josh wins by 4 home runs by a hitter, 2 errors, 2 saves, a home run by a pitcher, and 2 walks by a pitcher. And they tied in both wins and losses. That's fun to see.
Incredible.
For Josh on his bench this week, he was 5 for 40. It's a 125 batting average, 3 runs, 3 doubles, an RBI, a steal, 3 walks that would have won the category, 9 strikeouts, and 2 errors that would have lost him the category. All of that is not including Sunday, where he benched his entire team.
Yeah, and the offense went off on Sunday too, but it didn't. It wouldn't have mattered.
Right. None of it would have mattered. He didn't get the triple. He didn't get enough walks on Sunday. So
no, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yep. His moves this week, he used 5 of them. He added Jacob Mizorowski, who's an NA player. Jonathan India 0 for 4 on the bench. Zach Littell, 5 inning, no decision, good start against Houston. Colin Snyder, a clean relief appearance, and Brandon Lau was added after the game started. He dropped Jonathan India for him. So India is now a free agent again after the trade.
Yeah, well, and more to come on India when we get to Frank.
Okay. His key players this week, Matt Shaw or Kyle Schwarber. We could talk about Matt Shaw here. That's an interesting piece. 400 with a 429 on base percentage. 3 runs, 5 doubles, 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, a walk, and a strikeout. Well, this kid figured it out in AAA.
Yeah. This is the kid I traded to Josh in that trade. And like I said, I was hoping that he would figure it out. I want this kid to be good. And it seems like he did because I don't know who played the first 2 weeks of the season, but it wasn't this guy.
No. And this kid seems to be going to be hitting in this Chicago lineup, and now they get Colorado coming in. Yikes! Look out.
Yeah, he should feast.
He should. The least valuable hitter this week goes to Andy Pages, 176 with a 167 on base percentage, a run, 2 RBIs, a stolen base, and 2 strikeouts. He's been tearing the cover off the ball. It looks like he's cooling off a little bit lately, but he's still a beast. I think he's going to hit 25 homers this year.
I can see that. If he gets the playing time, that's going to be the key. Is how much playing time is he going to get in that crowded offense?
Yeah, I think they're committed to him, though. I really do. I think he's proven that they did right not trading him away in any of these deals that they've done over the last couple of years. The Cy Young for Josh this week is the bullpen. It's Anthony Munoz or Andres Munoz and Pete Fairbanks. Pete Fairbanks, 2 saves, nothing earned in 4 relief appearances. Andres Munoz, 3 saves, nothing earned in 3 relief appearances. Very well done. Well done.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you have those two together, if they're pitching like that, you're pretty good.
Yeah, your bullpen's set. Ben Brown is the Cy Yuck this week, 4 2/3, 2 homers, 8 strikeouts, 11.57, and a 1.50 on the whip.
This will not be the last time we mention his name in this episode.
Oh, okay. Somebody else streamed him. All right.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Good. For Frank on his bench, he goes 1 for 9. That's a 111 with 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, and an error. None of it plays. He used 5 ads this week. Jose Soriano for a good start against the Athletics. Trevor Larnach, the Klingon. Colton Gordon, 5 innings and no decision. Decent start against Seattle. Zach Agnos, who did not pitch. And Jonathan India, who was scratched and dropped.
Yeah. So, because, Frank lost Alex Bregman to what's going to be probably a good piece of time. So he's scratching along looking for a third baseman. So I saw him pick up India, and I think it was like 5 minutes after he picked him up, he was scratched from the lineup. I was like, I just felt so bad for Frank.
What a shot in the ass! Like he is going to lose Bregman for probably a month over this quad injury, and now he's going to have to figure out what's going on there.
Yeah.
What a shame.
He's got McKinstry is his only third baseman right now, so he was going for India as another piece there. Now he's only scratched with an illness, so like it's not an injury, so maybe you could have hung on to him, but
yeah. He also dropped Sandy Alcantara on what looks like yesterday's Sunday, so he's done with the Sandy Alcantara starts. The guy's got an ERA north of 8. He's cleared waivers, and now he's a free agent.
It's just absolutely incredible. I mean, I know he's coming back from TJ, but nobody saw this coming.
No, he's still pitching deep into games. He's just giving up a ton of runs and not getting any wins, obviously. So,
yeah, I mean, what's he at here? Yeah, he's at an 8.04 ERA over 10 starts.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's an absolute mess, and at this point, you just hope he gets traded to somebody, and maybe they figure out what's wrong with him.
But at this point, like, I mean, his trade value has gone to the tubes.
Yep.
So I mean, he's lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight starts. He's lost.
And now he goes to San Diego to play the Padres.
Yep.
Great.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. Key players this week. Frank's MVP goes to Jung-Hoo Lee. 318 with a 400 on base, 2 runs, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. The triple came from Jeremy Pena that won him the week. So good on that guy once again, chipping in and doing well as well.
Yep.
The least valuable hitter goes to Xander Bogaerts, 056 with a 150 on base, of steal, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Yuck.
Yeah, he's been not great. Which
you
guys called it. I was looking for a nice bounce back for him, but not so much so far.
He's got 9 steals. I mean, he probably will eclipse 20 on the season. Is he going to hit 15 homers too? Maybe.
I mean, if he can get up to 260, like that'd be cool.
Yeah, but so far it hasn't been very good. He gets Miami coming in this week, and one of them is the Sandy start, so maybe he can pick it up there.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Kevin Gossman. 7 innings, a win, 9 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.43, with a shout out to Zach Wheeler, who had a 6 2/3 shutout appearance. Chris Sale pitched well.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, and Frank pitched to a over 5 ERA. So, like, if he didn't have those 3 guys,
it would have been a mess. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The Cy Yuck goes to Ryan Barucki's loss on Sunday, 2 2/3, a win, a loss, a walk, a strikeout, a 10-13, and a 263. AJ Smith-Shawver pitched like shit but didn't take a loss. And Sandy Alcantara pitched like shit and took a loss. So there you go.
Yeah. But it was Barucki's loss on Sunday that lost in that category. So
yeah, so there it is. That's the guy that you have to blame on Sunday. Frank is hurting right now. All of a sudden, he's almost 20 under 500. He's 18 under 500.
Yeah, and it's certainly not gonna get any easier. He's got Mike Haber this week, and then Casas, Jimmy, Cody, and then you. So
it's the gauntlet.
yeah,
You
that's
can't
gonna
afford to
be
take another loss like this.
yeah, and I mean it's very likely that there will be one in that group of guys. It's very likely that there'll be a dump trucking.
Yeah, let's hope he at least gets one on somebody at some point during that slew of matchups he's got coming up. It's going to be a
Yeah,
long summer for Frank.
because all those matchups are going to be probably without Alex Bregman, who has been his MVP so far. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And Josh is defending his championship, and he is now 28 games over 500 and in first place.
Yeah, and he's doing it. Yeah, he's doing it in style. Look, I mean, so far this year, he has won 15-6, 14-5, 16-2, 15-4. Like he is killing some people.
He is trucking some people when he gets the opportunity to do it. And he's doing it all without Juan Soto because Soto is not hitting as we would have expected him to do.
Right. So you just imagine what he's gonna once Soto does start picking it up, which he's going to.
Yeah.
Like that's just gonna make Josh like unstoppable.
Yeah. And he's doing it, with Kyle Schwarber and Jose Altuve. Christian Walker isn't hitting. Andy Pajes was a great pickup. Zach Neto is a great addition to the team.
Yep.
And Matt Shaw is going to be, apparently hitting now. So good job on that guy.
Yeah. It should for Josh. It's going to be a nice summer, I think.
I think so. All right, let's move on to the next matchup, and it is Mike Haber taking on Costas Paragas, and this is another pretty surprising finish here in a 9-9 tie.
Yeah. I don't think this is what the storyboard looked like going into the week.
No. In fact, it was 11-9 in Mike's favor coming in, and on Sunday, Costas tied steals. Mike untied triples, tied wins, and Costas took a loss. So all of that makes it 11-9 going in, 9-9 coming out. Close categories this week. Mike wins by 2 triples, 5 innings, and 1 save. Costas wins by 4 doubles, a walk by a pitcher, and 4 strikeouts a walk by a batter and 4 strikeouts by a batter. They tied in stolen bases, wins, and losses.
Yeah, that's 2 matchups we talked about now that had wins and losses tied. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, and it's circumstantial, but it's nice to not lose those categories, and the ties will add up at season's end, and they're very important. For Mike on his bench this week, he goes 11 for 35. That's a 314 batting average. 4 runs, 5 doubles that would have won the category, a homer, 7 RBIs, a steal that would have tied the category, a walk, 2 walks that would have won the category, 10 strikeouts, and a relief win also plays.
Yeah, it was tough to get in. It was Jared Koenig. Like, how do you get that guy in? But it plays.
It plays. 8 moves this week for Mike. He added Lane Thomas over 4 with 2 strikeouts in the return from the IL. Brett Beatty 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Brent Suter did not play. Nolan Shanuel was added. Carlos Narvaez 1 for 4 with a double and a strikeout. Mitch Keller 6 inning, no decision, 1 earned against Milwaukee. Nolan Shanuel again 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. And Luis Torrens 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Not a great group of additions here this week from Mike.
No, and he dropped on Sunday. So he picked up Carlos Narvaez on Saturday,
Mhm.
dropped him on Sunday, and Sunday Narvaez went 2 for 3 with a steal and a walk,
Ouch.
and Luis Torrens went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So probably should have stuck with Narvaez.
Yeah, that was the play. That was
Yeah,
in fact the play. The MVP this week goes to Austin Hayes. That's surprising.
right.
360 with a 385 on base, 4 runs, a double, 2 triples, 7 RBIs, and 3 strikeouts. Yep, that'll do.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he had 2 triples. The 2 triples was the difference in the matchup, and there
Mhm.
they are.
Yeah. Pete Crow Armstrong with 10 RBIs this week. Yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't mention
Yep.
that guy's name again this week.
They only hit 259 with a 250 on base, so like it was a weird week for him this week.
Mhm.
I think he had a big home run, but yeah, but Austin Hayes with the 2 triples, like
Yeah, very nice week. Very nice week. The least valuable hitter is Cedric Mullins, who did not record a hit with a 111 on base, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Yeah, he's a mess. He's a
yeah,
mess.
yeah. But when you have PCA, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. The surprising thing is that the Baltimore Orioles are very bad, and yet Cedric Mullins is doing what Cedric Mullins is supposed to do. He's got 10 homers and 7 steals, but like he's hitting 226.
Yeah, is the Orioles are just a mess.
Yeah.
The entire organization is just a complete disaster.
Yeah. They made a big trade to go get Trevor Rogers, and he's not even contributing for them because he's bad.
But he did. He pitched in the second game of the doubleheader the other day, and then they sent him, and he pitched well, and they sent him back down. I'm like,
No.
this guy is like, it, right now
He
he's the
should be
best
better
player.
than Charlie Morton.
Right, Zach Eflin, like, give him
Yeah.
a shot. you, you
Yeah.
you spent Kyle Stowers and Connor Norby on this guy. Throw him.
Use him. Yeah. Use him. Mike Cy Young this week is going to be Robbie Ray. 13 innings, a win, a walk, 14 strikeouts, an 069 and an 077. With a shout out to Jesus Luzardo, who pitched well as well. 13 innings and a win, 20 strikeouts. Holy shit, that guy's good this year.
Yeah, I mean, he pitched against the Rockies and the A's, so like there were nice juicy matchups. He actually struggled a little bit against the A's, but still managed to get 10 strikeouts in 7 innings.
Yeah. Now he's been really good. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to be a real nice weapon for the Phillies. I hate the fact that they
Absolutely.
got him.
Yeah.
The Cy Young goes to Felix Bautista. 3 relief appearances, a 10-13 and a 225. No saves, no losses, no wins. Just came in and fucked shit up.
Yeah. Yeah. He gave up runs in 2 of his 3 outings. And it just hasn't been good for him. Like, and we talked about look, the whole an Oriole for the least valuable hitter and an Oriole for the Cy Young. That kind of
Yeah.
tells you how they're doing.
Yep. They're a mess, and they're in the
Yeah.
basement in the AL East. And I think that's probably one of the most surprising bad starts to the season that we've seen so far.
Yeah, oh, it has to be. I mean, they're looking like we've talked about the White Sox and the Blue Jays, how they built up the hype and then they kind of tanked. I feel like this is the next iteration of that.
Mm, could be. Could be. They just needed to get some pitching. That's all they had to do.
Yeah, yeah, and they had the pieces to do
They
it.
still do.
Yeah.
All right, for Costas on his bench this week, he goes 4 for 21. That's a 190 batting average, a run, a double, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts that would have lost the category, and an error. So good job keeping those strikeouts out. 10 ads used this week. He added Casey Legumania. Legumania? I mean, is he a workout dude? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like WrestleMania, but for legumes. I don't know.
I don't know. He had a clean inning. Cam Smith 1 for 4. Dalton Rushing off of waivers 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Jose Tena, Gregory Soto for a bad relief appearance. Logan Allen for a terrible start against Detroit. Kyle Harrison for a not long enough start against Washington. Davis Martin was okay against Texas. Stephen Okert did not pitch, and Mitch Garver 1 for 3 with a double, 2 RBIs, and a strikeout. His MVP this week goes to Seiya Suzuki, the other Japanese guy on the team. Uh, 480 with a 552 on base, 9 runs, 4 doubles, 3 homers, 10 RBIs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Holy shit, he's good.
Yeah. Did you know that he tore it up this week? I didn't.
I sure didn't. I mean, I'm not surprised. The Cubs have been fantastic.
Yeah, and I feel like every week it's somebody else. It's
Yeah.
it's Suzuki or it's Tucker or it's Hap or it's like it's somebody else every week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shohei Ohtani is the least valuable hitter this week. 160 with a 222 on base, 4 runs, a double, 2 homers, 2 RBIs, a steal, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. That's a bad week for Shohei.
Yeah, he could not touch David Peterson, huh?
No, he could not. He looked very, very silly against Deep Heat.
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
Mm-hmm. Luke Weaver is the Cy Young this week. Very good week from him. 3 1/3, a win, 3 saves, a 270 across 4 relief appearances. Very nice job. And you know what? We have to give Costas credit for trading away Devin Williams when he did.
Yeah, yeah, because when we kind of scoffed at it, but he did the right thing.
Yeah, and he's got the dude who took over for him. And Luke Weaver's been fantastic this season. He's got a sub
Yeah.
1 ERA, a strikeout an inning, 8 saves. He looks great.
And by the way, he also has Mark Leiter Jr., who is right there behind him.
Of course he does. He got all of the Yankees relievers along with all of the Tigers relievers. Good job,
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
The Cy Young goes to Tyler Anderson, who was awful, 4 2/3, a homer, 6 walks, no strikeouts, a 964 and a 279 on the WHIP.
That's a bad strikeout to walk ratio.
Very, very bad. Very bad. 33 walks across 70 innings for Costas this week. That's a lot of walks.
Yeah, and that didn't help.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Well, Costas has faded, man. He has definitely faded over the last few weeks. He's now only 4 over and sitting in the Bob spot in 7th.
Yep.
So what does he have to do to pick this thing up?
Beat me. Because
Okay.
he beat me this week. And yeah, he's tied with Jimmy, percentage wise. So he's still in this fight, but he's definitely right. He's definitely trending in the wrong direction.
Mhm.
He needs some to string some wins together again. And the thing is, when he was stringing those wins together earlier in the year, we noted how he was getting kind of lucky. He was falling into fun Sundays and things like that. You can't rely on those every week,
Mhm.
and it's starting to show now.
Okay. And as for Mike, I mean, he's 14 over. He looks in good shape. He's got his guys hitting on all cylinders here. Uh, this team's going to be here all season.
I think so. There's no reason to think otherwise. He has not shown any kind of chink in the armor, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. I think he'll be just fine. We move on to the next matchup, man, and it's going to be Ari versus Henry. Henry Collins taking down a 12-9 win over Ari Nisman this week. On Sunday, nothing changed. So 12-9 in, 12-9 out. Very nice. Well done, guys. Thanks. Appreciate you.
It's like it's just still.
Close categories this week. Henry wins by a homer, 2 errors, a win, a loss, 3 walks by a pitcher, and 8 ticks on the whip. Ari wins by the steal and 3 saves. They did not tie in anything. For Henry on his bench, he went 22 for 62. He even texted me saying that this was going to be a terrible week on his bench because he had a terrible, terrible Friday. So that's a 355 batting average, 11 runs, 9 doubles that would have won the category, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, 2 stolen bases that would have won the category, 6 walks, and 13 strikeouts that would have lost the category. So good job getting those out of your lineup. But his bench had more doubles than his lineup did.
Yeah, he hit 5 doubles. His bench hit 9.
Ugh, what a mess. Friday, he went 9 for 16, and everybody on his bench was hitting. And yeah, it was terrible.
That's that's rough, and it's one of those things. I mean, that's why you know having a big bench is hard to manage. And look, this is a matchup of benches right here.
Yeah. And here's the thing, he just cleaned up that bench move with the trade that he
Yep.
just made with you. So this is going to get better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, I mean, we'll dive into it, but he's still in this fight. He's
Oh,
in
no
fifth place.
doubt.
He's right here, so he shouldn't be worried.
No. 8 moves this week. He added Joey Bart, 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Ben Kasparius for a clean relief appearance. Hobie Milner for a clean relief appearance. Ryan Yarbrough for a good start against Texas. Cade Povich, who was okay in his start against Boston, but his bullpen allowed 18 runs. So,
He runs. That was like it was like ended up being like 19-5,
ugh,
and yeah, he gave up 1 run, and the bullpen gave up all the rest of it.
fuck. Again, another Oriole here. Like,
Yeah.
Ryan Gusto had a decent start against Seattle. Enrique Hernandez, 1 for 3 with an RBI, and Gabriel Moreno, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. His MVP this week goes to Geraldo Perdomo. 333 with a 400 on base, 2 runs, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to his new everyday second baseman, Bryce Terang, 115 with a 115, a run, a homer, 3 RBIs, and 7 strikeouts. Bad week from that guy, but hoping for big things from him the rest of the season.
Yeah, and he was good when he didn't get into the lineup. So now that he's going to be in the lineup every day, hopefully it kind of, evens itself out.
No doubt. No doubt. Max Fried is the Cy Young this week. He was fantastic. 7 1/3, a win, a walk, 7 strikeouts, a 123 and an 095. And the Cy Young goes to Michael Waka, question mark. 5 innings, a 720 and a 160. I mean, Henry pitched to a 204 this week, so good job, dude.
Yeah, well, it was a sub 1 whip, right? Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, like that was probably the worst.
good job, dude.
Yeah,
61 and 2/3 and a 204 with a sub 1 whip. Very well done.
yeah.
Well done. Ari's bench is a mess again. It's 28 for 124. That's a 226 batting average, 13 runs, 8 doubles, 3 homers that would have won the category, 15 RBIs, 17 walks, 28 strikeouts, and an error. His bench had more doubles than Henry's lineup as well.
Yeah. So, if everybody just played their benches, they'd be fine.
Yeah.
But look, I feel like Ari is fortunate that like out of all of that, he only lost 1 category
Mm-hmm.
on the bench. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's very fortunate because we've seen weeks where he loses 3 and 4 categories on his bench every week, and that's just crippling.
yeah,
Crippling. No moves again this week. He's
yeah.
second week in a row. He does not make a move, so we
He,
appreciate the participation there. All
he
right.
hasn't made a move since Mother's Day.
Yeah. Good job.
And it's now Memorial Day. So there's that.
Yeah. His key players this week, his MVP goes to Taylor Ward, 407 with a 419 on base, 9 runs, 4 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 12 RBIs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. And hey, Gunnar Henderson was in the lineup this week and he hit.
Who would have known? Who would have
Go
thought?
figure. Go figure. The least valuable hitter is Trevor Story, 133 with a 188, 2 runs, a double, an RBI, a steal, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. He's still a mess.
Yeah, but like Joe Adele was really bad. Glaber was bad, but like there's so many guys going in and out of the lineup. Like it's hard to like really pinpoint who's playing.
Yeah, who's playing every day and who's been bad every day. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough.
yeah.
Tanner Bybee is the Cy Young this week. He threw 7 innings, a win, a walk, 8 strikeouts, nothing earned, in an 0.57. And the Cy Young goes to JP Sears. 5 innings, a loss, 4 bombs, 4 strikeouts, a 1080, and a 160. Ari pitched pretty well too. A 329 and a 104 should compete every week. Just not enough this week.
Yeah. The only blowups were Sears and one outing from Shelby Miller. Like so, otherwise, if you take those out, yeah, it's a great pitching week.
Mm-hmm. Henry's is very nicely sitting 7 games over five. I'm sorry, seven. No, it's 13 games over 500
13
plays.
games,
Very
yeah.
well done. Very well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. He's in this fight.
Oh, no doubt.
He has Levy this week, and then it's Frank, Bobby, Lebo, Josh, Mike. So like
Gauntlet's coming.
the gauntlet is coming. So this is, he needs another big win this week to kind of prevent anything from happening over that stretch.
Mm-hmm. And as for Ari, we want to see more participation. Make some moves, dude.
Yeah.
Do something. Shake up this lineup because it's hitting, and when it hits, it tears the cover off the ball. You had 40 runs and 42 RBIs this week.
Yeah. It's hitting, it's pitching, but it's just, yeah, it's just not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough. We expect more. We expect more out of you, Ari.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup. And this is a rematch of a playoff matchup in 2020. It was Jimmy Dunlap against Brian Lebo. In 2020, Brian Lebo took down the win. This week, Jimmy Dunlap gets his revenge, 11-9 on the victory for Jimmy this week. On Sunday, Lebo flipped homers and stolen bases, but took a loss to tie that category. It was 13-8 in Jimmy's favor going in, 11-9 coming out. Close categories, Jimmy wins by 4 runs, 4 doubles, a triple, a tick on the whip, and 2 relief appearances. Lebo wins by a home run by a hitter, a stolen base, 3 errors, 3 wins, a save, and 4 walks by a pitcher. They tied in losses. That's a really close matchup. That's a lot of really close matchups.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the score was really close, and these categories were really close. So this could have gone anyway.
Yeah. For Jimmy on his bench this week, he goes 4 for 26. That's a 154 batting average with a run, a double, 2 RBIs, 11 strikeouts, and none of it plays. Well done, sir.
We'll see. And not only was the score close and the stats were close, but both guys had really good benches. So this was a really good matchup.
Yeah, really strong work here. For Jimmy's moves this week, he used 9 of them. Luke Keeschel is on the IL. Tyler Anderson, 1 earned run allowed in an inning and 2/3. And then he followed it up with a homer and a loss.
Yeah, that guy was not good.
No, he was bad. Ronnie Henriquez for a clean relief appearance. Justin Wilson for a bad relief appearance. Keegan Aiken for a clean relief appearance. Dylan Moore off of waivers, over 4 with a strikeout, and then over 5 with 2 strikeouts. Not the best waiver claim.
Nope.
Brock Stewart for a clean relief appearance. Jake Bird for a clean relief appearance. Jojo Romero for a clean relief appearance. 9 ads added. All those relief appearances, and he wins by 2 in that category.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strong work, dude. Strong work. The MVP this week goes to the combination of Paul Goldschmidt, Jake Myers, and William Contreras. I love the fact that William Contreras is now hitting 304 with a 407 this week. 2 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, and an error. Goldschmidt was great with a 400 and a 478. And who was the other guy? Jake Myers had a homer and a steal. Very nice.
Yeah, 333 with 357. Like, yeah, these guys came to play. Even Brian Reynolds starting to break out a little bit. So if that happens,
thank God, he's been a mess all season.
Yeah, and now he's hurt. So what's going on here?
Oh no.
Some minor physical issues. Okay.
Sounds like a day of rest.
Yeah. Whatever.
The least valuable hitter is Dylan Moore, who went 0 for 9 with 3 strikeouts in the lineup. What a fucking terrible ad that was. Chris Bubich is the Cy Young this week. He's been very surprising this season. 7 innings, a win, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.71. Shout out Drew Rasmussen, who pitched very well. Paul Skeens was good again. Jackson Rutledge had a clean relief appearance. There were a few guys who went very well for him. Tyler Alexander is the Cy Yuck with that terrible pair of relief appearances. But those are the 2 that win the category. So
yeah, I guess you take it, right?
Yep. For Lebo on his bench this week, he goes 12 for 36. It's a 333 batting average, a run, two doubles, a homer, four RBIs, two walks, nine strikeouts. That would have lost the category, and that's the only thing that mattered.
Yeah. Yeah. Both of you guys had really nice benches.
Yeah, very nice. Well done. 6 ads used by Lebo this week. Alex Call over 4 with a strikeout. Robert Hassel 2 for 5 with 2 runs, a steal, and a strikeout. Miles Michaelis for a good start against the D-backs. Kevin Ginkel for a very bad relief appearance. Jose Castillo and Harrison Bader 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Couple more ads. Maybe he would have flipped relief appearances. I don't know.
They were out there.
They were. They were out there to be had. There were plenty of them.
Mm-hmm.
The MVP this week goes to James Wood. The kid's going to be a problem. He's already becoming a problem.
Yep.
333 with a 429 on base, 4 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 6 RBIs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. On the season, the kid's hitting 284 with 13 homers and 7 steals.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be, he could be 25, 25-20, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Fernando Tatis was the least valuable hitter this week, 125 with a 160, a double, a walk, and 10 strikeouts. Can't win the week when your best player is playing like that.
Nope. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, terrible week. Terrible.
But he's having a fine year, so it's just a bad week.
Just a bad week. Shake it off. He'll be fine. Yeah. Sonny Gray is the Cy Young this week. 12 innings, a win, 15 strikeouts, a walk, 225, and a 108 on the whip. Good starts from Nick Lodolo as well, and start from Grant Holmes got him a win.
Yep.
The Cy Young goes to Alec Jacob and Sean Gunther. Both of those guys were bad in relief. Tanner Scott also 15 ERA. He wasn't very good either.
Yeah, that was that game again. That was the extra inning game against the Mets.
Mm-hmm. Alec Jacob, the man with 2 first names, 2 1/3, 2 bombs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 38-57 and a 4.71. And that was 2 relief appearances.
Yeah, they're both really bad. And he's in AAA, and so is the other guy. So
yeah, just an absolute mess.
Yeah.
But you know what? Lebo is absolutely still in this thing. He is just 4 under 500 in 10th place. He is definitely in this fight. He has gone through the gauntlet. It's still going. Getting Jimmy this week was difficult. Who's he got this week?
He gets Cody, then you, and then he kind of comes out of it. And then it's Adam and Henry and Sherman. So he's got to get through Cody and you.
All right. He's got to stay right around 500. Just don't take a beating from me and or Cody, and you're going to be okay. Yeah. Jimmy, after a rough start, he's now 4 over and in 6th place. This guy is no joke.
Yeah, he's right there. He has Josh this week. He gets the Habers, and then Frank, and then Costas. All right. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes out of that.
No doubt. Just stick around 500 until playoff time and then make your run. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. All right, we move on to the next matchup, which is Bobby Russo and Cody Pyatt. Cody getting a 12-7 hard-fought victory this week. This was a tough matchup to watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, both these guys came to play.
Yeah. On Cody, on Sunday, Cody flipped ERA, and that's it. So it was 11-8 coming in, 12-7 coming out. Close categories, Cody wins by 4 doubles, a steal, 4 walks by a hitter, 2 wins, and 0.19 on the ERA. Bobby wins by 2 errors and a loss. They tied in triples and RBIs. For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 3 for 12. That's a 250 with 2 runs, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs that would have won the category, 4 strikeouts, and an error. He used 7 ads this week. He added Marcelo Meyer for his debut. He went 2 for 4 with a double and an error the next day, which was also benched. So he's on the team. The question is, where's the playing time? We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, and he's going to play for the Red Sox. It's just, I don't blame Cody for sitting him, kind of filling it out, seeing how he's going to be, But this kid has the tools, so we'll see how he does.
Yeah. He added Eric Fetty for a bad start against Detroit, Taiwan Walker for an okay start in Colorado. He added Gunnar Hoglund, which was a waste, Kyle Hendricks for a decent start against Miami, Patrick Corbin for an okay start against the White Sox, and Lou Trevino for a clean relief appearance. His MVP this week goes to just about everyone because Cody was killing the ball this week. 327 with a 388 on base percentage.
Yeah, beat that.
Yeah. 220 at bats and he hit 327. That is a killer batting average this week. I guess we'll give the MVP to Vinny P. 458 with a 500 on base, 3 runs, a double, a homer, 4 RBIs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, and an error. But Jose Ramirez hit, Kyle Stowers hit, Sal Frelick hit. Yeah.
Chase, whoever the Chase Maidroth guy is, he hit.
Yep. Ozzy Albies hit 389.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody hit except for Wyatt Langford. 217 with a 308 on base, 2 runs, a double, a steal, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Willie Abreu also hit 190. So that was the only 2 guys who really didn't hit this week.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's just fine. The Cy Young this week goes to Jake Irvin, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
8 innings, a win, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.63. Who was that start against?
That was against the Giants.
That's a real team.
Yeah, and he took care of them.
Yeah, very well. The Cy Young goes to Lucas Ursig. 11, an inning and a third, a loss, 2 homers, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a 27 and a 3.75. Cody pitched pretty well too. He threw to a 369 and a 110.
Yeah, but now he just lost Michael King with right shoulder inflammation, so that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's going to be rough because he gave up Trey Turner for both Michael King and Devin Williams. Devin Williams no longer the closer. Michael King no longer throwing. Oof.
And Devin Williams, he had a nice week, but there's no saves there. There's he's just a middle reliever.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Yep.
For Bobby on his bench this week, he went 6 for 21. That is a 286 batting average. A run, a double, 2 RBIs that would have won the category, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Only 4 moves this week. Hogan Harris for a clean relief appearance. Bailey Falter for a good start against Milwaukee. Michael Soroka for a decent start, but a loss against San Francisco. And Abraham Toro, 2 for 4 with a double, an RBI, and a strikeout. The MVP this week goes to O'Neal Cruz because I want to talk about the fact that he broke StatCast this week.
Yeah, he did.
Again, he broke his own record. He had a 318 with a 444 on base, 7 runs, a double, a triple, 3 homers, 5 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 2 errors. He broke StatCast. He hit a home run at 122.9.
Like, let's just call it 123. And he literally filled out the entire line score here. He got something in every category. And yeah, this kid, he is a monster.
If only Pittsburgh had some more guys like him.
Yeah, have somebody around him that's not Brian Reynolds.
Yeah. He's only hitting 236, but 18 steals, 11 homers. He's doing what he can for this team. It's just kind of a shame.
Yeah. I don't, and you just never know with him. He's one wrong step away from twisting an ankle or something. So he's kind of made of glass.
Yeah. The least valuable hitter this week is Randy Arozarena, 179 with a 258 on base, 2 runs, a double, a triple, a walk, and 11 strikeouts. How many triples did he hit this week? 2. They tied in triples. That's a hell of a week.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice having the triple, but the 11 strikeouts. And Logan O'Hoppe also, he also had a big week, but also 9 strikeouts and an error. So, there's a lot of good and bad in this lineup.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Luis Castillo, who's been very good this season. 13 innings, a win, a walk, 11 strikeouts, a 208, and a 1 whip. The Cy Yuck goes to Jesus Tinoco, who has a 108 ERA and a 15 whip this week.
He gave up 4 earned runs and got 1 out.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. It's a terrible, terrible week. Both these guys are going to be in this fight, though. I get the feeling. Bobby, unfortunately, 13 under 500 right now, but he can dig out really quick because he's going to get out of this gauntlet and do some damage.
Right, he's got you this week, and then he kind of clears it out for a bit. So, if he can get by you with at least a decent showing, he definitely has the ability to climb out of it.
Yeah, and Cody's 3 over for all of the bad start he had, where he was down at the bottom. He's clawing his way through these standings. He's 3 over and in 8th place. He's in this fight, no doubt.
Yep, but now it's his turn because he's got Levo this week, and then it's the Habers, Frank, Jimmy, Costas, you. So, again, it's gonna be a fun summer for these guys, for all of us.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. The summer gauntlet is not a fun time, but we'll see how guys navigate it this year. Jason, we're going to talk about your matchup with Mike Sherman now, and I think this is the surprise upset of the week as Sherman gets a 13-8 victory, my friend.
Yeah. This didn't go as well as I was hoping for. It went better. It ended up better than what it was at some points. And I felt like I played Sunday pretty well, to kind of keep the categories that I was hoping to keep, and not lose the categories that I didn't want to lose. But overall, it was a rough week.
Yeah. On Sunday, Sherman took you took a loss, and Sherman got the win in that category. But you flipped doubles and whip. So close categories this week. Sherman wins by 2 homers, 2 errors, 2 wins, 3 losses, 2 saves, and 3 home runs by a pitcher. Jason, you won by 5 runs, 2 doubles, a triple, 4 RBIs, and 3 strikeouts by a batter. For Sherman on his bench this week, he went 9 for 34. That's a 265 average. 7 runs that would have won the category, 3 doubles that would have won the category, 4 homers, 7 RBIs, 2 steals, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Only 2 moves on the week. He added Tyler Holton for a clean relief appearance, and Max Kranick, who took over for Canning after the rain delay and pitched a few innings. He's been really good for us, man.
He has. Where would we be without him? And he, he's starting to show a little bit of wear just because we've been throwing him so much. But I mean, this was a guy who, like, you wouldn't even thought would have made the lineup, the roster out of spring training, and he's been a godsend.
No doubt. No doubt. The MVP this week for Sherman is Jarren Duran with a 400 and a 464 on base, 5 runs, a double, 2 doubles, a triple, a homer, 5 RBIs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He started this off. He started this off on Monday against the Mets, and I just knew that this was going to be a week from hell for this guy. He hit a double and a triple in that game on Monday, and he hit a triple. And the first pitch you saw, he hit a triple, and I was like, okay, this is how this week is going to
go. Yeah. Hunter Goodman is the least valuable hitter, a 138 with a 167 on base, a run, 2 RBIs, a steal, a walk, 11 strikeouts, and an error. Ugh.
Yeah.
Is this kid good? Like, is he good for the Rockies?
He's been really good, actually. He's hitting 275 with 7 home runs and 31 RBIs. Like, with the shitty ass team that they have, he's been one of the bright spots. It was just a bad week.
Okay. The Cy Young goes to Dustin May, who has been very good for the Dodgers. 6 innings, a win, a homer, a walk, 8 strikeouts, a 150, and a 1. And the Cy Young goes to nobody because Mike Sherman pitched to a 2.01 ERA this week. He won most of the pitching categories, so good job, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to give it to Luke Jackson, sure, you gave him a loss with a 540 over 3 appearances, but, like, ultimately, it was just there's nothing I could do against this pitching.
Yeah, it was too good this week. Too good. Jason, on your bench this week, you went 6 for 44. That is a 136 batting average. 4 runs, 3 doubles, a homer, 6 RBIs, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts that would have lost you the category. So good job, my friend.
Yeah, and I honestly thought like that I was gonna lose strikeouts because it was so close. And whenever strikeouts are close, I always end up losing it because I have guys who like to strike out.
Mhm.
So I was actually, but I started benching guys towards the end of the week that like Willie Adames or guys who are prone to the strikeout, Dalton Varsho, like so. Yeah, I guess that kind of helped.
Yeah, I would say so. When you win it by 3 and it's those guys, you know your team. You know who's always prone to those strikeouts. So good job getting them out. 10 ads this week for you. You added Brock Stewart, Christopher Morel for an 0 for 3, Liam Hendricks off of waivers for a bad relief appearance against our Metsies, Logan Evans for an okay start against the White Sox, Miguel Vargas off of waivers 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, Bo Brisky, clean relief appearance, JP Crawford 0 for 4 with a walk and 3 strikeouts, Landon Knack for a good start against the Mets, Brett Beatty after the game started, and Jeff McNeil 1 for 3 with the go-ahead double.
Yeah, so I was chasing doubles. That was the other one I was happy with it that I got. I was chasing doubles towards the end of the week, and I picked up guys like McNeil. Like I felt like McNeil was gonna get a double Sunday night, and he did. Turns out it wasn't the winning double because of stat corrections. But at the time it was the winning double.
Okay. Your MVP this week goes to Ivan Herrera. 300 with a 400 on base, 5 runs, 7 doubles. I'm sorry, 7 RBIs. That would be a record if he hit 7 doubles. A stolen base, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Willie Adames, 063 with an 063, a run, a triple, 2 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, and an error. Is this guy good? Has he been good this season?
No. Yeah, I mean he's had moments, but I mean he's hitting 209. He scored 30 runs, which is nice, but it's been hard with him. Him and Mark Vientos are two guys
Hmm.
that I'm just like I'm lost with.
Well, I know you're not lost with Tariq Skubal. He was your Cy Young this week. He's not going anywhere.
Nope.
14 and 2/3, a win, a homer, a walk, 21 strikeouts, a 184, and an 055. The Cy Yuck goes to Mason Miller, who's off the team now. 2 and 2/3 with a save, a bomb, a walk, 5 strikeouts, a 13, 50, and a 3. I'll give you this opportunity to talk about Mason Miller and why you felt like this was the piece that had to go.
Yeah, because I look, and I've had this conversation with Ben a few times. I know I don't get saves. I may be winning, in the I'm 5-2 or whatever it is in saves, but that's because I'm playing guys who also don't have saves. Uh, so for me, Mason Miller has been ruining my weeks by putting up ERAs of 13.50 and giving me losses and or just not pitching. He went a stretch without even like it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games without even pitching. It was
Mm-hmm.
another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games without even pitching. So like, and when he was pitching, he didn't really pitch well. So I felt like there were a lot of guys knocking down my door for Mason Miller, and I felt like I got a really good return out of him. So I'm hoping that my offense is gonna come alive now. And if I lose saves every week, so be it. But at least my ERA hopefully will start going down a little bit.
Yeah, it's a hell of a return in Ketel Marte and Stephen Kwan. It's a hell of a lot better than Torkelson and Wesneski. I'll say that much. Um,
Amen.
amen. So good job getting a big return for that guy, and hopefully it turns your season around. You need to get off the schneid here. You're 12 under. Got to get this thing in gear.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not going to be easy because now I have so I have Costas and Ari and then Levy, and then it's the gauntlet. It's Ben and Bobby and Lebo and you and the Habers. Like so it's gonna be a tough couple of weeks, but I'm hoping this trade will help, and at the very least, I'm here to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all. That's what this is all about. And Sherman being 2 over is probably the surprise of the season. He's in ninth place. He's right in this.
He is. He absolutely is. And look, I mean, I threw a sub 3 ERA this week, which normally would have played, but his pitching was just unstoppable. So like if he has that every week, he's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. It's been a great season already, and we appreciate you being the man who conducts all of the research here. We love having you, and you are killing it this season, man. We hope you get it in gear over the next few weeks. I want to see you in the playoff hunt, my friend.
I do too. Here's hoping.
All right. We're going to move on to the final matchup this week. It is Adam taking on Chris Levy, and Adam gets himself an 11-8 victory. Sunday, this is the one where the stat correction fairy just absolutely went nuts. Levy untied home runs. Adam untied errors because Levy took an error. Adam flipped innings pitched in ERA, so it was 9-9 going in, 11-8 coming out. Crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
Close categories. Adam wins by 2 runs, 3 doubles, an error, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 2 wins, a loss, a save, 6 strikeouts by a pitcher, and 5 relief appearances. That's 9 close categories this week.
Just bonkers. Just absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. And Levy wins by a home run by a hitter, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs by a pitcher, and 2 walks by a pitcher. They tied in triples and stolen bases. This is the matchup of the week, despite it being 2 bottom feeders of the league right now.
Yeah.
For Adam on his bench this week, it's 4 for 19. That's a 211 batting average, 2 runs, a triple that would have won the category, an RBI, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The triple comes on Sunday from Mike Yastrzemski, but it's hard to get in.
Yeah, I mean, Lubab had a bad Sunday, but like, what are you gonna, I mean, I guess you don't need Jonathan Clase, whatever, however you say his name, but he was all right. He had a 1 for 3 on Sunday, so like, yeah, it's tough.
Yep. 8 ads this week for Adam this week. It is Brad Keller for a relief appearance, Cole Henry for a clean relief appearance, Ramon Laureano 3 for 4 with a bomb, Chad Patrick in a good start against Baltimore, Jose Ferrer an inning, 1 earned run in his relief appearance. So gross. Jeffrey Springs was bad in his no decision against Philly. Braden Fisher and Jonathan Clase. Those are the other 2 guys he added this week. I don't know. The MVP goes to Good Ellie. Good Ellie this week. 292 with a 370 on base, 7 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 7 RBIs, a steal, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, and an error. He is still Ellie.
Yeah. So there's still 2 sides of the Ellie, but the good side of the Ellie was good.
Mm-hmm. With a shout out to Brent Rooker, who had 370 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. Matt Olson had 3 bombs, so he had a good week. Week.
Yeah.
The least valuable hitter goes to Matt McClain, 190 with a 182 on base, a run, a double, an RBI, a steal, and 6 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to Carlos Rodon, 6 innings, a win, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 067. Shout out Yusei Kikuchi, who is pretty good in a 5 2/3 outing, nothing earned.
More walks. This guy walks the world. I feel like every game is 4 walks for this guy.
Wow. Yeah, you're not going to succeed with that.
Yeah.
The Cy Young goes to Grant Holman, 16.88 ERA and a 263 across 3 relief appearances. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, and when he picked him up, I saw him pick him up, and I thought about it too, because for a minute there, like, he got in a win, like, I don't know, everything, it seemed like everything he was doing, he got like 4 wins in like 5 relief appearances, and I was like, okay, something's up with this dude. And then Adam got him, and he'd been pretty good until this week. He just shit the bed.
Yeah. Of course, it's always once you pick him up that, like, he does shit the bed. You've been watching this guy for a couple of weeks. It's like, oh, he looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and add him.
Yeah.
Boom. Hand grenade. For Levy on his bench this week, he goes 5 for 26. That is a 192 batting average with 4 runs that would have won the category, 2 doubles, a triple that would have won the category, an RBI, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 2 errors, and also would have won innings pitched and strikeouts, but lost walks had he played all of the guys that were on the bench. It
Yeah,
starts from
Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday he had 16 in the third innings on the bench with a win, a loss, a homer, 7 walks, and 20 strikeouts.
there it is. There it
Yep.
is. Maybe he didn't get to his team in time. I don't know. He also missed Volpe getting in for a 1-for-3 with a triple
Yep.
because
And the
CJ
Nationals
Abrams
were
was postponed. Yep.
postponed. Yeah, yeah. And there was time there. So yeah. But like that happened again on Thursday too. He had Riley on the bench with Devers postponed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Yep. Sometimes you don't get to your team in time, and these are the results. And,
Yep.
it's a shame. His moves this week, he had 10. Taj Bradley, 6 innings on the bench, 3 ERA and a 1 whip. Dylan Moore, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Luis Severino was good against the Angels. Nick Sogard, 3 for 6, 2 runs, a double, an RBI, and a strikeout. Adrian Morihone for a clean relief appearance. Carlos Narvaez was a waste. Jose Trevino, 0 for 2 with a walk. Slade Ciccone, 6 innings, a win, 1 earned against Detroit. Hunter Dobbins was bad against Baltimore, and Ben Brown was awful in Cincinnati.
I told you we'd be saying his name again.
We would. It's right here at the end. The
The
MVP this week, of course, is Aaron Judge. It's the only guy that seems to be carrying this team. 364 with a 462. 6 runs, a double, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, a steal, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Shout out Rafi Devers, 3 homers and 10 RBIs this week. He had a nice week as well.
And Ryan O'Hearn with a 462 and a 548 also.
Nice. That is a hell of a week from that guy.
Yeah.
Austin Riley did not record a hit with a walk and a strikeout with a 250 on base. He was not in the lineup enough for us to really account for him this week. So
Yeah, and the more I looked at Levy's team, the more I realized that he drafted Rafi Devers, Austin Riley, Anthony Volpe, and CJ Abrams. And those are 4 dudes at 2 positions.
yeah,
So that's a tough challenge.
yeah, you can only get 3 of them into the lineup on any day. So
Yeah.
somebody's got to sit. And lately it's been Austin Riley, and I don't think that's the right guy.
Yep.
Slade Ciccone is the Cy Young? Really? 6
Yeah.
innings, a win, a bomb, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 150 and a 117. He was okay.
Yeah. Hey, against Detroit, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And Ben Brown is the Cy Young, 4 1/3, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, a 16.62 and a 208. Ew.
Yeah. Yeah, this kid is up to a 6.39 ERA and a 160 whip over 50 innings.
Oof. Time for him to go down. Keep Cade
Yeah.
Horton in the rotation, I say.
Yeah, and they and I need Imanago to come back.
I was just gonna say, when is he due back?
It's probably not going to be, it won't be until, at least mid-June, it seems like.
Oof. All right. Well, these guys are fighting hard. I do appreciate them fighting hard at the bottom there. And you know what? Not for nothing. Adam's only 6 under.
He
Could
is.
still make a run here.
Yeah, he's ahead of me in the standings. He's ahead of Bobby in the standings. He can make it. He can make a run here.
He's in the right part of his schedule to make that happen.
Yeah, he's got Ben now, then Bobby, Lebo, and then it's the Habers.
Okay, this is the time to make the move. So if you're going to make a run, this is the spot. These are the guys to win against. All right, man. Who's the manager of the week, my friend?
Oh man, this was tough. There was a lot of good ones this week. Josh had to blow out. You know what? Let's give it to Cody. I like what he did this week. Bobby's a tough cookie, and like you said, this was a tough matchup for both guys. They both played very well. They both came to play, and Cody came out with a 12-7 win. He's right in the thick of this thing. Hats off to Cody. I had to give a shout out to Ben too. You guys are the premier matchup of the week, and he took it down. So, like, that's why this is tough, because I want to give it to both of you guys.
Yeah, I have to give it to Ben. He gave me one hell of a fight, and when you're able to bench out your players and get selective in the last 3 days and really close this thing out, well done, sir. I really appreciate playing matchups like that and getting getting humbled by a 12-9 loss. So this year he takes down the Bigs HQ trophy.
And hey, at least it only happened once until you guys meet in the playoffs, which is almost destined to happen.
From your mouth to the baseball god's ears, my friend. I hope that we both make the playoffs. Jason, thanks so much for being here, man. This was a great episode.
Absolutely, always fun, always a pleasure, and yeah, guys, keep it going. This is a fun season. I'm loving the season.
2 months down, 4 months to go. We are getting into the thick of things, and it is the dog days are coming. So get ready. And you know what? If that stat correction fairy is out there listening, fuck off.
Yeah,
We don't like you.
Go take a vacation.
Yeah, we don't need you anymore. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Until next time, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.